can name a number of countries right off the top of my head where they've decided that they're just going to test math and reading every year or every so many years, and schools and teachers will be evaluated on that. And what happens is it crowds out all the other areas that we also know are important. Well, there's 6 goals in education for all, right? They span from early childhood education right up to adult learning. And there's issues around skills and things like that. There are many goals that haven't been achieved. 750 million adults are still illiterate. And there's sort of an axiom, an economic axiom, that the last 10% is always the most expensive. And they want to kind of say, well, the problem is now it's not about inclusion or access, it's about the quality. There's too many kids that are going through school. They're not learning anything. They're not able to read and write. So we need to have a back to basics focus on reading and writing in the early grades and put all of the money in terms of assessing. And I think that's this is where the goals can go really wrong. We were just with the youth ambassadors from the Secretary General's Education First initiative yesterday, and African male young man from Sierra Leone was talking about how when he was asked who he wanted to be when he grew up, he said his mother, because she was the most powerful. And that talks about sort of gender shifts that are afoot, and the valuing of women in society. If you do a path of least resistance type policy that allows for what we call creaming, which is, just everyone sets up their own school, it's all about what they're interested in, and then they have to attract parents to it or attract students to it. On one side, it's got great individual benefit. It might not have a really great social benefit. I don't know if that explains what's happening in Sweden. A lot of people think that's what's happening. You're assuming more responsibility for the learning process, I think. I think the other one is of a school of thought it's valid in many ways too, that I'm teaching it. If they didn't learn it, too bad for them. They should work harder next time. Like, I'm doing my part. It's really you who aren't doing your part. And that's much easier in some ways to do than to really feel that, oh, I didn't get this idea through. I've got to try it from a different angle. Or why can't I can't figure out how to get this concept understandable to these 3 kids. What is it that I haven't been able to do, and really struggle with that. So in many ways, I think that's to be a reflective practitioner, I think. But you can be a reflective practitioner that uses direct instruction in different moments, especially if you've got sort of a presentation that's just dynamite. Think about a TED Talk. A TED Talk is direct instruction. I used to use TED Talks in class. Those are great.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.